Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly beading broadcast. Today we have another live design session and I'm going to create something on the go from the beautiful Bavarian Princess Beading School Academy theme box. But before we would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I would like to make sure that everything with the technical stuff is all right. I see Catherine saying hi. She says that it's loud and clear on YouTube. I'm super happy to hear that, Catherine. And Kata is here. Antoinette is here. Ladies, are you watching from Facebook, from the Beading School Facebook page? I would like to make sure that both channels are working well. Unfortunately, the Beading School Facebook club is not connected anymore because of new Facebook regulations to the live broadcasts. So, Andy, if you are out there and listening, or Zuzi, or anyone else, could you please share the broadcast to the club? I would be super grateful. Thank you so much. I see also Asta today and Katja, Lita, Lutka, Terry, Laura is here, Jessica. Antoinette says she's indeed watching from Facebook. Wonderful. Yosin, Namrata, Erika, Molly, Cindy. We are again in good company, ladies. So, as I said, I'm going to create something from the Beading School Academy theme box, the Bavarian Princess. Those of you who might not know yet what the Beading School Academy is, then I would like to just quickly tell you a few sentences about it. And please, ladies out there who are students, happy students of the Beading School Academy, please share your opinion in comments while I do so. Thank you so much. Spreading the word about Beading School and the Academy really helps us so we can continue creating together with you. So the Beading School Academy is a bi-monthly student membership program focusing on beadwork. You can join and become a student, either a yellow, turquoise, or a fuchsia level student at beadingschoolacademy.com. And every 2 months, we are working with a different source of inspiration. We had in the past, for example, Van Gogh's Starry Night. We were working with Art Deco. We were working with India and the palaces of the Maharajas. And now, in March and April, May and June, I need more coffee. So in May and June, we are working with a new source of inspiration, the Bavarian Princess, Sissi, Elizabeth, Empress Elizabeth of the Habsburg Empire. There are all sorts of beautiful greens and golds and silvers and lots of shinies in the box. And well, we have designs that our designer team created, but I still have some stuff left in my theme box. So today, in our traditional live design session, I'm going to look into my leftovers and will do my best to create something new. In the meanwhile, also Cindy, Malia, Sherry, Helena, Anna, Gunel, Nitti, thank you for sharing, Nitti. Catherine says, I really enjoy looking over your shoulder as you design, and I really enjoy doing this together with you, ladies. The best part of it is that it's not solely my creation, but you always help. I can count on you. Sometimes I get stuck. Sometimes I need to decide between different solutions, and how everyone chips in with comments. That is super useful and also just feels so good So thank you for being here with me when I'm doing a live design session. And Lita says, it is such a beautiful box, one of my favorites. Thank you so much, Lita. And Samia is here. And Catherine says, the Academy boxes are so inspiring. Thank you, Catherine. And Sharon, Catherine, Cindy, Corinne, Irene. Thank you, Irene. Bernadette, Susan, Shirley, Debbie are here too. And now it's time to see what we are going to work with. So I still have lots of components here on my bead mat because I got another box for unboxing. So even after I was done with my first designs, the Carlina and the Gentiana, I still have quite a lot of pieces left. There are always lots of cabochons, preciosa crystals, lots of milky seed beads, fire polished beads, lots of glass components to be used as focals, this time in even a handmade art cabochon. But besides those, I also love including extras, pendants, drops, connectors that you can use to personalize your jewels. I always encourage you to take the designs to a next level, or just maybe it means that you will add something, maybe it means that you will make it smaller, maybe it means that you will connect some. But even if the motif itself stays the same as we designers intended it to be, it's super easy to like make a bigger earring with connectors and drops, or for example, use connectors for creating a statement necklace. So I always love including those extras in the Beading School Academy team boxes. And this time, when I'm thinking about the pendants that we have, the glass pendants, then there are two main ones that you can use for personalization besides the crystal connectors and all the other stuff. So there are these bigger leaf-shaped ones, 12 times 13 millimeters. They are made of glass. And then there are also, okay, sorry, this is a different shade, a lighter green. The one in the team box is darker, actually. So so there are these also micro pendants included in the box. It's like 2 times 3 or 2 times 4 millimeter, I think. And yeah, I will show them to you under my hand camera in a little while. But before that, let's look at the jewels that the designer team created so far with these components. We were talking yesterday with Susie, my dear colleague and friend, who is also here with us today. And she was marveling at the versatility of even seemingly so simple components, because she was looking through the designs from Nitti, from Susie herself, from Veronka, from Roxandra that we have just received. And she said she was noticing like how differently everyone used these little simple pendants. I'm also going to show you the new one from Luxandra, but let's start with an elegant, simple solution from Veronka. She simply hanged the glass leaf pendant under her motif, so that is so easy to do for some extra sparkle. Then, for example, this is also from Veronka. This is the Dear France jewel, and in this case she used the little cubic zirconia pendants, and she inserted them between 2 layers of seed beads on the edge of the pendant. So the edge became this like got this lacy effect and wavy effect, and also the colors are working out so fine, in my opinion, how it starts from the middle with the airiness and then it ends with the different shade of green on the edge. Then we have this beautiful one here from Zuzi, where the cubic zirconia pendants are in the same position. However, they are not on the edge of the pendant, but somewhere around the middle. And this was such a good idea. It really creates the focus point of the motif with the greens in the middle and then going forward towards the softer shades and the metallic shades on the edge. And then again, there is one with the leaf pendants, and this is from Nitty, and it's coming very, very, very soon. I mean, the tutorial. And then I wanted to show you also this week's offline surprise. No one has to bead along design. So this is the one that I mentioned from Ruxandra Puskás. And she created a pair of earrings for you using the Kali beads, using a bunch of seed beads, and then playing a bit with the micro pendants made of cubic zirconia. And I really like how she turned two of those towards each other. So it got my attention, and I will try to do something similar in my own today. And let's get started with that. So I am going to switch now to my hand camera. And please let me know, ladies. Also going to take a sip of tea from my coffee mug. I'm drinking mostly tea in the afternoon, but still using my beautiful Beading School coffee mug. And a little switch to my hand camera. Please let me know if it works well. So you should be able to hear me still, and hopefully also see my hand camera. I have here the bag of pendants, 2 times 4 millimeter cubic zirconia faceted round charms or pendants. Hand camera is good, Catherine says. So thank you for letting me know. And before I would start, I have a rough idea, but let's see how it goes. But before I would start, I would like to show you a little bit more how these look like. So when I look at one of these from the front, then you can see that it looks like a chaton, a tiny chaton. However, it is drilled, so you can hang it somewhere. You don't need to create a bezel. And then if I turn it sideways, then you can see that indeed it has the shape of a chaton, that the top is chopped off and is flat, and the backside is deeper and pointy. And I wanted to, before starting to create, I wanted to demonstrate that even with such a tiny component, when the whole is made well, when it is of good quality, then you can indeed include it even in your more complicated designs, because the needle fits through it several times. For reference, I'm using my usual needle and my usual thread. So it's Fireline 4LB, and the needle is a size 11 tulip. And let's see how many times can I pass through the cubic zirconia pendant. So that was 1, that was 2, that's 3, that's 4. I'm starting to get a little bit of grip, but still I can go more times. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's getting tighter. 9. Can I go a 10th time? What do you think? 10. Okay. 11. 12. 13. 14. Okay. You get my point, I think. 15. So I went 15 times through this little micro pendant. Lita has a good idea. You should have taken bets. What do you think, ladies? Can I go a 16th time? Let's see. 16 was possible. Okay, and 17 is not possible anymore. My needle got stuck. However, please remember that I'm using a size 11 needle, so there is also size 12 if you would need to pass one more time. So even if it's a tiny component, then you can be 100% sure that you are not limited by the size of the hole when you want to include it in a design itself, besides like hanging it somewhere. So let's see. Antoinette says, I love it. I can't gamble. I spend all my money on beads. Yeah, one guilty pleasure is enough for all of us, right? And now let's start creating. And another component that I really wanted to use today are the Kali beads. This is a new bead shape that we are working with since we started the Beading School Academy. And since you liked the 3-hole bar beads so much in the January-February Aurora Borealis team box, then I decided to bring you another 3-hole shape, and this time the Kali. They are, not by coincidence, also included in the June jewel of the Beaders calendar. This is what you can bead in June if you go for the Beaders calendar. And here you see I created like this dome shape thanks to the Kali beads. And now let's see what I will create. So for sure, I would like to make a circle of 6 Kali beads. And then you will see how easy it is to create these mandala shapes thanks to the 3 or sometimes even more holes of the beads. I'm just trying to make up my mind which color out of the 3 size 15s from the current Beading School Academy team box should I use for the middle circle, or shall I maybe go a little bit bigger beads? The 2mm round bead in smoked silver might also be working in this case. So ladies, let me know in a comment, please, which ones would you like to see in the middle circle? There will be, in the middle of the motif, a circle created from Kali beads. And in between the collie beads, in between the inside holes, I would like to either include a size 15 or a 2 millimeter round pearl. Yosin is voting for the 2 millimeter ones. Helena is also voting for the 2 millimeter ones. Gunnar would like to see the size 15s in the golden color. Katja also would like to see the golden size 15s, and Sharon too. So far we have 3 votes for the golden size 15s and 2 votes for the 2 millimeter ones. The spacers would also work. That's actually true, Angelina. Catherine also likes the 2 millimeter ones, and Antoinette likes the gold. Lita also likes the gold. So now, as I count the votes, I think we have most of the votes going for the golden ones. Even if it's like changing all the time, but when I counted, then it was the most of the votes went for the size 15 golden ones. So I will start by picking up 6 pieces of collie beads. I will always take a quick look to check if all the holes are empty. Sometimes it happens that a hole can be clogged, so it's not a pleasant surprise when it happens. By the way, something important, something interesting came to my mind about holes of beads because last week we were visiting the Crystal Valley in the Czech Republic, where most of our pressed beads and fire polished beads were made. And in one of the factories, I was so lucky that I could actually try some parts of the bead making process. And it was the process of creating fire polished beads. And they explained to me that when the fire polished beads go through the kiln, that the glass that accidentally stays inside, it melts away. So that's why fire polished beads are a safer choice regarding holes, and it's very rare that you will find a shard of glass inside the fire polished beads. Mostly it can happen with the pressed glass beads, and that's the reason of the change, the fire of the difference. The fire polished beads go through an extra kiln to create the extra effect. So I have the circle of 6 collie beads, and I'm going to add the size 15s now. I repeat the circle and always pick up around size 15 before entering the next hole. If I would be using the 2 millimeter ones, then I would pick up the 2 millimeter ones probably right away together with the collie beads because they need more space. Also, Philomene joined us in the meanwhile. Then I think Marta. Marta, it's you who lives with man, according to your YouTube YouTube name. And Teresa is also here. Welcome, ladies. So I'm repeating the thread pass through the inside holes of the collie beads. And I'm always picking up a golden size 15. This is it. That's a good start. I also bead through the first added size 15 and one more collie bead through the inside hole. For comparison, I'm going to show you the bracelet again. So here, in between the first holes, I have a size 15, And then I went for 2 millimeter round beads between the second holes, and that created the domed effect. Now I would like to have my mandala to be more spread out, so I will choose something bigger, not the 2 millimeter round beads. I'm thinking about the pearls or about the 3 millimeter fire polished beads. So we have here a bag of 3 millimeter round glass beads in silver blue, and then a bag of 3 millimeter fire polished opaque pale turquoise stardust. Which one would you like to see in between the second holes, ladies? I'm taking a moment of rest and sipping a tea and taking a sip of tea in the meanwhile. So Antoinette says fire polished. Sharon is also for fire polished. Marta is for the round blue ones. Asta says pearls. Katja says fire polished. Erika says fire polished. Okay, let me see. So fire polished votes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 votes, and the round blue one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes. So we are going for the fire polished beads. So I turned to the opposite direction by beading through the second hole of the Kali bead. I pick up a fire polished bead and I bead through the second hole of the next Kali. I think the size will fit well, but this is something that you know usually only after you complete the full circle. If it's not too big, not too small, there can sometimes be a very, very annoying tiny 0.2 millimeter difference in compared to what you would wish for, and then the beads get pushed apart, or it's not as flat as you wanted. So designing is often a lot more than the eye can see from the picture of the finished piece. Often even seemingly simple solutions require lots of trials and errors. And this is how it looks like after adding these 3 millimeter fire polished beads. So it's slightly domed, but not as much as with the 2 millimeter pearls. And I'm going to repeat the thread path now, passing through the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth fire polished bead and Kali. So this is how it looks like at the moment. I think at the end it will be also nice to add something to the middle. Or shall we add something to the middle now? It's still easy to return. I'm thinking what would work well. Of course, we had the 4 millimeter. Yes, that's perfect. We had the 4 millimeter Preciosa Chatham Rose Montes or Swan rhinestones in the Beading School Academy theme box. So that's what I'm going to try. So for decorating the middle, I turn back to the original direction, and by beading through the inside hole of the kali, and then I also bead through a size 15. The distance between two size 15s is slightly more, a lot more, than the Suvan rhinestone. So I need to add something extra to cover the thread fully. And size 15s in a different color might work well. Ooh, Erika says you can turn it over and have it cup the middle. That would be also so cute. I have a feeling now that I want to turn it this way, but super nice idea. Heather needs to go now. See you later, Heather. So I pick up, I think maybe one or two will work. I pick up two size 15s, the Suvan rhinestones, and two more size 15s. And I will bead exactly through the round 15 that is opposite of the one that I am exiting. Okay, it should be okay. And then I bead back through all the beads that I just picked up. And then I'm beading through the round 15 one more time, a kali inside hole, and one more size 15. And by the way, ladies, I always encourage you to either bead along with me, and when you have a different idea, then go your own way and explore the possibilities, or maybe you can watch now and then bead it later. Terry also needs to say goodbye now because of an appointment. Take care, dear Terry, and see you later. And now there is a seemingly challenging situation because the Suvan rhinestone has two holes in a cross shape. However, there are 6 round 15s that I need to connect to the Suvan rhinestone. So I'm going for a little unorthodox idea that I will pick up a size 15 and a delica. I cross the second hole of the Suvan rhinestone. And by the way, everyone who joined later, I am creating this on the go. I did not prepare in advance, so this is a live design session. And please don't be surprised if I will be frogging something. Now I picked up delica and round 15, and I bead through the size 15 opposite of the one that I was exiting. I bead back through the 4 seed beads and the Suvan rhinestone in the middle. And then again, size 15, kali size 15. And let's see if I add a size 15 and then I bead through delica, Suvan rhinestone delica, if I will cover the distance, and I already see that I won't. Or is it good like this? I'm crossing again through the same Delica, but adding one more round, 15. And Susanna says that she loves the color palette. It's so nice to hear, Susanna. Always lots of love and creativity goes into creating the colors and putting together the shapes. So this was kind of my goal. Do you think that it's okay, or shall I try it in a different way? When I go back through these beads, then they will even out more. It will all look nicer. So what do you think about this, ladies? How I solved the attaching the rhinestone situation. I still have the motif circular, but there is a bit of variety around the Suwon rhinestone. Okay, no one is saying anything. I hope it's not the sign of a big fat disapproval of what I am doing. Lita likes the idea, and I trust Lita's judgment. Cindy and Gunhelen also like it. Gunhelen loves it. So let's go with this solution then. Imagine like when you are creating a bracelet and then you have these delicate beads in all the motifs, then they kind of visually will connect the motifs to each other. Or if you have an earring and the two delicate beads in this position in a stronger color, then also that creates a visual line that wouldn't be possible without this. And to get back to my business, I bead through the inside hole of a collie, the middle hole of a collie, and the fire polished bead because it just feels easier. I don't want to bend the needle too much, force the needle too much. I bead through the middle hole of the next collie, and finally I am on the outside edge of the motif. And Irene says, I love it so far and I hope it will become a tutorial, or I will watch the video and definitely make it. Dear Irene, thank you so much for your kind words. And I also really hope that I succeed and it will become a tutorial later, because I actually scheduled a No One Has to Bead Alone for us all, when we can bead together the result of the live design session. So either during today's live design or later on my own or with the help of the club, I will have to make it work. And I hope it will be today. And Kata says that she did something similar with size 11 round beads instead of delicas. Ah, Kata, you always have so many creative solutions. And Marta says that it looks like the flowers in Sisi's hair portrait now. Oh, so nice that now we are like noticing the resemblance in so many things when we watch out for something specific. So thank you for noticing, Marta. It wasn't deliberate. Helena says, I think it works well. I just struggle to see the silver on silver, maybe more of the green delica. I understand, Helena. I love different shades or different variations of the same color in one jewel, because for me it creates more depth and an interesting surface effect. But now we are on the edge already. And this is where I want to include the cubic zirconias. I think we should go for something bigger in between, maybe the size 11s or the faceted microspacers. So what I'm going to do, I need to create a sequence between the outside holes of the Kali beads. And I want to include in every sequence 2 pieces of micro charms, small charms, but I want to put something in between. So I'm super curious of your ideas, that what would you put into this sequence besides these little charms? What shall I try first? Angelina is asking, shall we add some bugles? Like, that would totally fit, and that's a great idea, Angelina. But if I feel the distance between the outside holes of the Kalis now with bugle beads, then I need to make it fits actually, kind of, maybe a tiny bit too big. Yeah, but then I would lose my opportunity to add these micro charms as I wanted to. Catherine is curious about involving the little pendants. Corinne says, what about using the symbol mushroom in the middle? That would also be totally possible, Corinne. I don't have any on hand now, but if you would like to create this motif with the symbol mushroom instead, totally possible. Lita is voting, by the way, on the microspacers. Catherine too, Katya too, and Angelina would add bugles and size 15s with zircons at the tip. Nice. Erika is voting for spacers. Katrin is voting for gold size 11s. So let's see what happens with the spacers. But also, Cindy is right that the gold will give the eye relief from the silver. So true, so true. And now I'm hesitating, but that happens a lot. So at least you can see that not everything, even if, like, sometimes I'm beading in my head in advance when I'm creating a motif, but when I sit down, then it doesn't always has to work out as easily as I imagined it. And I sometimes end up trying 15 different variations when I expected that my first one will totally work. I will first pick up a sequence of little charm, microspacer, and another little charm, because I want to see that how big is the space that they take up. And I think I can still add 2 size 15s on the sides to fill the space completely. Angelina says, I would imagine it's even harder doing this while filming and listening to 100 opinions. Yes and no. Yes, because of course I don't want to like create something unusable, but also I accept that it might be a failure, so I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I'm okay with not making it perfect because I know that I can trust you, that either you will help me or later we will figure it out. And that's also part of the design process, the messing up. So I'm not embarrassed to show that if it comes to it. And also, there is, of course, adrenaline in me, and that adrenaline sometimes helps compared to like just leisurely beading, having all the time that I want. So it has pros and cons. And now I'm exiting a collie from the outside hall, and I picked up size 15 pendant, microspacer, pendant, size 15. And let's see what happens if I bead through another collie bead. So it looks a little bit weird, I think. I don't know, ladies. I don't know. But later maybe we can like add some more seed beads over the microspacer. So I will add some more of this. Hi Martika. I will add some more of these sequences. And I'm curious how will it look like. If you are doing this, then be careful to turn these little charms in the right way. As we said, as we talked about it at the beginning, I said that they are different from the top and the bottom. So be careful about that when you include them in a design. But how do you like it? It's kind of intriguing, also a little bit weird. I will keep going. It's like not too much work to just pick them up and show you a fuller picture, fuller version. I don't mind frogging it if I need to. I picked up one in the wrong way while I was talking about it. That you need to be careful about the orientation of the little pendants, then I just messed up exactly what I warned you about. Maybe it was a demonstration. Corinne is asking if we will see more colors of these tiny zirconia pendants. Well, dear Corinne, we know each other for quite some time. You started to bead with me more than 3 years ago. When we started No One Has to Bead Alone, we beaded together. So many different designs. Your jewels are always beautiful and creative, and I love your sense of humor. And sharing with me your pictures of parrots and so on. And I'm just saying this because I wanted to demonstrate that we know each other well. And dear Corinne, was one color anytime enough for me? Have I ever answered a question with like, no, I only want this in green. I only want this in red. Okay, and then I messed up the same pendant orientation thingy 2 times in a row. And Corinne is putting a big haha emoji in the comments that I can't share on screen for some technical reason. But yeah, so she's getting my jokes. We know each other. So some time ago, Andrea, another dear friend and colleague, had an idea that when I am with you ladies during a coffee time with Erika, then always someone from the treasury is helping me. And before that, I was doing everything on my own. If we had like more colors of something, then I tried to do like 5 things at the same time and activate the new stuff in the bead shop. However, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I always putting the pendant in the different in the opposite direction? So, however, my friends Timmy and Andrea are here with me today, and who knows what they are doing in the beach shop. By the way, I keep saying my friends and colleagues, and that's like so true. Both Timmy and Andrea used to be my high school friends. We went to high school together, so we have history. Yes, Erika says that I might be thinking of all the other colors already. And I happen to know that there is a very, very, very nice copper shade coming that I think many of you will love. So that might indeed be distracting me a little bit. And actually, I'm pretty happy with at the end with how the motif looks like with the charms on the edge. I don't mind the unusual quirky look of it. What do you think, ladies? I completed the circle. It took more time than I thought because of me talking so much and because of all the mistakes. But now I have a full circle, and wow, this worked. This worked really well with the sizing. So the motif is like totally nice and flat, but we need to solve the situation with like adding some seed beads over the microspacers so we can connect the motifs to something. I'm trying to make it a little bit even more sturdy by now passing from the Kali bead directly into the little pendant. So I'm skipping the size 15s. I did that with 2, and then I will start adding more seed beads also. So from the Kali, I'm beading into the small pendant, and now I pick up 3, 4, 4 pieces of size 15s. I bead backwards through the microspacer, then I bead again through 2 of the size 15s. I pick up another size 15, and then I bead through 2 more size 15s and the pendant, and then directly into the Kali. And Angelina has a really, really good idea to maybe put something more over the Kali beads. I can't do that in this circle because I have to pass now through the Kali beads to make it a bit sturdier, but it's totally possible to then go again and then create a connection somehow over the Kali beads. Also, I wouldn't go from the little pendants directly, and the size 15s sank a little bit, so it might become a little bit more problematic than it was before. And I would like to add these picots all around because I love the look of it. What do you think, ladies? And Lita says that it is gorgeous. And I'm so happy, ladies. Like, somehow today it went like super easy. Do you remember when I was creating from the Wintertail box? That didn't go that well. So indeed, I'm owning also the mistakes, but today I'm proud of myself, and you should be too. All the jewels that I have seen in the club again, all the beautiful Carlina variations and the Gentiana variations. So well done, ladies. So if you want, you can do this all around the motif, and you can create again a more star-like shape, and even use it as part of a bracelet. If a bracelet, then I would recommend joining the motifs at 2 points, because then the delica beads would create a long nice line all along the motif. And actually, if turning this into a pair of earrings, as I will probably, then I would turn it this way also, and I would attach the earring components here and maybe a drop here at the bottom, because if I would add here something and then the earring hook, then the delica beads would turn a bit sideways, and I don't want that. So I will finish this with picos and then hang it as an earring motif. And wow, this went quite fast and pretty much like a breeze today. And thank you so much, ladies, for your input about the fire polished beads and the sequence with the microspacer. I really, really, really appreciate it. I would also like to answer dear Corinne's question about the other colors of the fire polish, of the little pendants. So let's see. I need to look up the page, because I know that Timmy and Dundee were hard at work. Unfortunately, the bead shop is now a bit slower than usual. We are trying to solve it again, of course. I just wrote to our IT support before the broadcast, and indeed it's super slow, unfortunately. But I managed to open it. But I have a better idea. Ladies, I actually have these new things here on my bead mat, and until the bead shop is opening up, I can show them to you in like kind of real life on my bead mat if you would like to see. So I will, and sorry for the inconvenience. We are also in the process of changing the server. We will go to a different, more reliable company, because lately there are big issues, and it should happen in about 2 or 3 weeks, that we will be on a different server, and hopefully that will solve some of the issues, many of the issues, all of the issues. So I'm back with my hand camera now, and I wanted to show you that the big the big pendants, they are also available now in more colors. So the ones that were originally blue, in the bluish, beautiful blue in the box, I have here 3 more colors. One more blue, Bermuda. Oh, I love your enthusiasm. Helena just switched to all capitals for wanting to see the pendants. Then I have it in vitrelite. And I also have it in ghost light. It's also like purplish, greenish, but a softer shade. So besides the blue, these are also now waiting for you in the bead shop. And then from the small micro pendants, I have a lot more colors. So there was, Angelina loves the ghost light finish. It's such a nice one, right? So I accidentally showed you a lighter shade of green at the beginning. So this is it, the olive green. Originally we had kind of an emerald tone. So this is for comparison. Lighter green. Then for classic elegance we have crystal and jet black. We have peach color, super nice, soft, easy to blend in. Sapphire blue. How many are in a bag? Lita asks. Andy, Timmy, Susie, can you help me with it, please? It's not written on the bag. I would guess it's 50, but I don't want to like tell 50. Corinne says 50. Thank you so much, Corinne. And Angelina says, I bet the white crystal ones will sparkle like crazy. They are super sparkly. I have also ballerina pink. Light cyan. If you already miss the fiery shade of Sayulita Sunset, then you can bring it back with the light cyan pendants. And then the one I mentioned, the red magma. It's also such a nice one. It's somewhere between topaz and red and there is also a bit of an orange shine. And Kata likes the red magma a lot. Sherry says the red magma is incredible. I love it too. That is actually what caught my eyes at first. And unfortunately, I can't open the bead shop now because of it being a lot slower than usual. I apologize for that, but I happen to know that the ladies also added some other components today. So the Bavarian princess theme, it's very much also about luxury. It's about connecting nature and luxury, because Sissi was the wild child of Bavaria all her life, even from the highest luxury of the court in Vienna. She was longing for nature and the mountains and the forests. So that's one source of inspiration. And the other one is, of course, her new life, the luxury of the court in Vienna. And when I'm thinking about luxury, then, for example, clasp garden clasps, Neumann clasps come into my mind. That's the highest quality components that you can have when it comes to closures in beadwork. And that's why Timmy was working today on creating bundles and adding Neumann clasps. She also added some new historic filigrees in other colors and lots of other metal components too. And besides that, I would like to mention that on Thursday we will have an offline No One Has to Bead Alone session, and this time you can bead Ruxandra's design with indeed these little pendants, the one that I showed you earlier. This is the one, and I think it will be a very interesting solution for constructing the shape. Ruxi always brings us very, very interesting designs. And ladies, thank you so much for your company today. I loved this session again. And as I said, I will draw the instructions, and in a few weeks we can all enjoy it during a No One Has to Bead Alone session. For today, I would like to say goodbye to you and have a wonderful creative rest of the day, ladies. See you soon. Bye bye.